Samsung and Apple have dominated their respective mobile markets for a long time, but a new challenger is lining up some heavy blows. In this video, we will tell you all you need to know about Xiaomi's newest innovation, the 12T. So stay tuned because some things about it will really shock you. The Xiaomi 12T Pro, in keeping with tradition, boasts a brand new 200 megapixel primary camera on the back. Furthermore, the excellent 120W hypercharge functionality that was first offered on the Xiaomi 11T Pro last year is still present. You can find it challenging to determine whether there have been any significant alterations at first glance from the front. A closer look reveals one significant modification, namely that all bezels are identical. The model from last year no longer has a very tiny chin. The under-display fingerprint scanner is a significant hardware advancement in addition to the improved bezels. The new FPS is fast and accurate as well. The top and bottom rails have been modified slightly. The two-tone effect is nicely executed and the internal components appear to have been reshuffled with the newer device. The microphone is now to the left of the USB-C charging port on the bottom. The only thing that hasn't changed is the Sound by Harman Kardon logo at the top. The speaker grill, IR blaster, and second microphone have all been rearranged. In terms of the power and volume button placement on the right side rail, the side rails appear to be identical. As usual, the opposite side is spotless. We really like the clean matte black finish on the back cover, which is similar to what we saw on the Xiaomi 12 Pro. This is a significant improvement over the mirror finish found on the 11T Pro last year. Another significant improvement is the camera island, which is based on the 12 Pro and looks quite nice. Another significant advancement made by Xiaomi in the last year is the superb haptic motor, which is now on par with what Google and Samsung offer in the Android world. The display gets a bump up from the 1080p version we saw in last year's model. Instead of a QHD panel, Xiaomi went with a 1220x2712 pixel AMOLED display. The end result is a large 6.67-inch display with a pixel density of 446 ppi. Aside from the specs, this display appears to be more color accurate and clear than last year's model, which appeared to be overly saturated to our eyes. If you leave the fresh rate on auto to dynamically change the refresh rate based on what is displayed, the end result is that colors are vivid and contrast is excellent on this display regardless of what you are viewing. On paper, the brightness specifications appear to have suffered, but lab tests show that this is not the case. In practice, this display outperforms the one on the 11T Pro. The Xiaomi 12T Pro's Geekbench 5 scores are unquestionably the best in its class. This phone is powered by the latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor and has 8 GB of RAM. The Xiaomi 12T Pro review unit has a single-core score of 1286 and a multi-core score of 4192. So, in terms of raw benchmark performance, this smartphone is right up there with the gaming phones of 2022. The latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 from Qualcomm has 30% better power efficiency for both the CPU and GPU. The performance rate is about 10%, primarily due to faster core clock speeds. The single-core score reflects this, but the multi-core score is about 10% higher than the Xiaomi 12 Pro. Aside from the increase in raw power, the Snapdragon chip is manufactured by Taiwan Semiconductor Fab rather than Samsung. As a result of the newer fab and slightly better chipset design, thermal performance and battery life are improved. Xiaomi also claims that the vapor chamber is now 65% larger than last year and that the 12T Pro has 125% more thermal material, heatsink tape. There should be no slowdowns or thermal management issues if you take a lot of videos or play a lot of Genshin Impact on a long road trip. The Xiaomi 12T Pro has a 5000 mAh battery and comes with a 120-watt hypercharge brick. Because Xiaomi uses a proprietary standard to communicate with the device, you must use the included USB-A to USB-C cable. This will ensure that you get the most out of the product while not negatively impacting battery performance over time. The SOT on this device is consistently 6+ hours thanks to a more efficient processor and display. This means you can go an entire day without charging. If you plan on gaming for a few hours, the 120-watt hypercharge brick will charge the phone from 0 to 100% in about 20 minutes. Bottom line, you won't have to worry about running out of battery life with this phone. The dual Harman Kardon speakers are loud and clear, some of the best stereo speakers from recent phones. The audio is the same as last year, but unlike the 12 Pro, it only has dual speakers rather than 4. Harman Kardon-tuned dual stereo speakers sound fantastic. They are extremely loud, even louder than the Pixel series or the iPhone 13. The only minor flaw is that the bass is a little lacking in comparison to the other devices. However, you will almost certainly never have to turn the volume slider all the way up to 100%. Because the speakers are genuinely loud, most people will want to lower the volume slider. Oh, and these speakers are Dolby Atmos compatible, which is an added bonus. Because this is a top-tier device, there are no intrusive pop-up ads in the software UI, which is fantastic. Second, with the 12T Pro, Xiaomi is now promising 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security patches. This puts them on par with Google and just behind Samsung. This is fantastic news for anyone considering purchasing the 12T Pro. It is free of bloatware and you can uninstall the few additional apps that come pre-installed. Overall, the experience is similar to that of a Google Pixel. And unlike Samsung, there aren't many duplicate apps, which is a plus. After the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra, the Xiaomi 12T Pro is the second device to use Samsung's 200MP ISOCELL HP1 sensor. The 12T Pro lacks a telephoto camera because the massive 200 megapixel main sensor can easily provide 2x zoom. The 2x zoom from the 200 megapixel sensor will astound you for a phone without a telephoto camera. The 200 megapixel sensor captures excellent daytime images and videos. The colors are vibrant, the white balance is excellent, there's a good contrast, and the dynamic range is wide. To avoid oversaturation, we recommend that you only use AI when absolutely necessary. During the day, the ultra-wide camera produces good results. In our opinion, the color science is slightly off when compared to the main camera. You might want to look elsewhere for better ultra-wide results. The main camera, on the other hand, is the reason to buy this phone. The main camera takes excellent nighttime photos. However, because this is a very good sensor, you may want to use night mode only when the lighting is extremely low. In well-lit scenes, night mode produces good-looking results at first glance, but there is significant detail loss. The question here is, what do we get for a €100 increase in base price over last year? Essentially, the premium is for the most recent and advanced Snapdragon processor. Then there's the incredible jump to a 200 megapixel main camera sensor. Aside from these two major improvements, there is a better display with an integrated fingerprint scanner, not to mention an outstanding haptic motor. Xiaomi also didn't mess with the battery capacity, the 120W hypercharge support, or the excellent dual stereo speakers. You also get 5G connectivity, clean software, and 3 years of OS updates. Overall, the 12T Pro packs a lot of great features into a sleek, modern design. It is bound to disrupt the market, at least. Will you be buying the Xiaomi 12T? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content of the same. Until next time, it's goodbye.